In 1979, an Indian courtroom became the final battleground for one of New Delhi's most horrifying crimes. Two men, known as Billa and Ranga, stood trial for the kidnapping and murder of teenagers Sanjay and Geeta Chopra. The prosecution faced a massive legal hurdle. Both defendants had formally retracted their initial confessions. They now claimed the police had coerced their statements, and they presented entirely new alibis to argue they were nowhere near the city. Without those confessions and lacking a definitive automaton, the state's case was in severe danger. If the court accepted their new stories, the killers would walk free. To prevent that, investigators had to build an invisible cage around the defendants. They needed to construct a timeline using purely circumstantial and forensic evidence, facts that couldn't change their minds on a witness stand. This legal strategy was the only way to ensure the physical reality of the crime survived the defendants' lies. The legal system had to prove the truth without relying on the criminals to tell it. The timeline began on the evening of August 26th. Sanjay and Geeta had left their home for a routine commute to the All India radio station, where they were scheduled to participate in a broadcast. They never made it. Along the way, the teenagers were forced into a stolen mustard-colored Fiat car by two men. But a kidnapping in the middle of a bustling city rarely goes unnoticed. Multiple people on the street saw a violent struggle happening inside the moving car and heard the teenagers shouting for help. One witness on a scooter even gave chase, weaving through heavy Delhi traffic to track the fleeing vehicle as it sped toward the city's reg. That pursuit yielded a critical piece of information. The chasing citizens noted the exact license plate of the Fiat, HRK 8930. This immediate citizen intervention locked in the foundational timeline of the prosecution's case. It proved exactly when and where the crime began, fracturing the defendants' claims that they were out of town. Later that same night, at 10:15 p.m., a man calling himself Vinod arrived at the casualty department of Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital with a bleeding laceration on his head. The prosecution argued that Vinod was actually Billa, attempting to treat an injury he sustained while fighting with the teenagers inside the Fiat. To prove this, investigators lifted a thumbprint from the hospital's X-ray slip and matched it ridge by ridge to Billa's criminal record. Handwriting experts then took the signature Vinod and overlaid it with Billa's handwriting, confirming identical stroke patterns. This medical documentation permanently dismantled Billa's alibi of being in Bombay. The ink and fingerprints physically trapped him in New Delhi on the night of the murders. Days later, police discovered the abandoned Fiat parked in a residential alley. They treated the vehicle itself as their primary witness. A schematic of the car's interior shows